Psychologists. What are people afraid to tell you because they think it's weird, but you've heard many times? Story 1. Intrusive thoughts. Almost everyone has thoughts of pushing an elderly person onto subway tracks, swerving into oncoming traffic, or stabbing a loved one while cooking together. Some take these seriously, believing they might act on them, called thought-action fusion. Most of us can dismiss them. Story 2. Hating their parents, teens and young adults alike. Not about physical harm, but emotional manipulation, contempt, or dismissing feelings while parents preach they did everything for their kids, demanding gratitude. Story 3. Feeling like if they're their true selves, others won't like them. I've heard some version of this countless times. Exploring the roots of this belief with clients really hits me hard. Story 4. Mixed or positive feelings when a loved one dies after a long illness, especially if they suffered or had dementia. Often there's relief. It's finally over. Perfectly normal doesn't mean you didn't love them. Many fear they should grieve a certain way or didn't love enough. Story 5. Believing something's innately, irreparably wrong with them, making them unfit to belong. This deep-rooted belief is excruciating to admit, no matter someone's personal success. Story 6. Not knowing what they enjoy doing. People in their lives, even therapists, say, "Do something fun today," or ask, "What do you like to do?" Many don't know. When I explain I dislike those questions because they assume answers not everyone has, clients relax, take a deep breath and say, "God, it's so good to hear that. I have no idea what I like." They feel they should know, like everyone else their age does. Admitting they don't is embarrassing, but it's very common. Story 7. Fearing they failed since our last session, not using a coping skill or completing a task I assigned. Humans aren't robots. Therapy is hard work. I don't expect perfection when starting positive change. It takes time to commit, especially with trauma or conflicting self-views. Clients worry about disappointing me, but failures are as vital to discuss as successes. Story 8. Disliking family, being angry, or wanting to cut off parents. Women often feel ashamed admitting they're exhausted by motherhood or never want kids. Wish they knew how common this is. Story 9. Visual or auditory hallucinations and suicidal thoughts. Common fears. I don't want to be hospitalized, or I don't want you to think I'm crazy. Also, anything about intimacy. I won't judge what you're into. Same for non-consensual experiences, especially in trauma work. Story 10. Hidden dreams or fantasies about family members. More common than people think, often stay subconscious, and doesn't disrupt close relationships unless acted on. Many thoughts are involuntary, and their roots often don't make sense. Story 11. Consulted with a doctor about a couple whose daughter died. Wife thought husband didn't care because he wasn't openly crying. She attended support groups, expressing grief outwardly. He worked in the garden he and his daughter kept, processing privately. Both valid grieving styles, but they expected each other's to match. They resolved it. She brought him to her support group. He invited her to garden quietly. Really sweet. Story 12. Many people are unaware of their own emotions and processes. Some only feel angry or happy, worrying something's wrong otherwise. Normalizing the full emotional range is crucial. Recognizing how our body feels during emotions helps us understand how we process. Story 13. Society's approach to emotions is messed up. With anxiety/trauma clients, when I ask if they're anxious about being anxious, I get a lot of, "Oh my God, yes." Anxiety's physical toll, racing heart, shortness of breath, fainting sensation, tunnel vision, hits before we notice anxious thoughts. We panic about our body's reaction without realizing what triggered it, worsening anxiety. It's like a home alarm signaling danger, real or perceived. Check for threats. Ground yourself. Breathe. Use mindfulness like body scans. Then explore what set it off. Danger doesn't need to be a gun. Panicking over a job presentation threatening your livelihood feels dangerous too. Story 14. In substance abuse work, clients struggle to admit using with a parent. It's sadly common. Story 15. Not having intimacy with their partner for years and unsure if they ever will again. Shame around intimacy makes people afraid to discuss needs with partners. Time passes 3, 5, 10 years without. Often starts in 40s/50s. Story 16. Many falsely believe something's wrong with their marriage because they fantasize about others besides their spouse. It's normal. Story 17. With married couples, almost everyone's embarrassed about fighting, but everyone fights. Conflict can be healthy if both know how to process emotions and resolve issues. Handling conflict, especially in relationships, is a learnable skill. No one's born knowing it. Learning it makes life and relationships healthier. Story 18. In elder care, dementia/mental health, family/caregivers feel ashamed that caring for someone with dementia or chronic issues is hard. Caregiver burnout is real. It's tough watching a loved one struggle or fade. Caregivers need time for themselves and to know it's okay to feel this way. No one's superhuman. We all have needs. That's why caregiver therapy groups exist. It's okay to struggle, no shame.